Cable Bahamas has always been considered the innovator.
People can have confidence in Cable Bahamas as a mobile operator because of our past history. We've proven to the Bahamian community that we are in fact able to manage additional services as a telecommunications company.
Customers expect the best from Cable Bahamas.
The technology that we bring is revolutionary technology because we know that the Bahamian public, they deserve it, and Cable Bahamas is here to bring it to them.
We are ready. Turn us on.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned in to NB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios in Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, power fully restored to BEC customers in New Providence, but some will be held responsible. Who is the headliner for Junkanoo Carnival concert? We still don't know. The F&M calls for the Deputy Prime Minister to resign over the BAMSI fiasco. A look at the most memorable quotes of the week. We've got those stories and a whole lot more for you tonight. I'm Kyle Joaquin, and NB12 Weekend starts right now. Topping news tonight, after enduring 2 days of no power supply, power has been fully restored to thousands of frustrated BC customers in New Providence. According to a statement from the Bahamas Electricity Corporation, power was restored to the last 5% of affected customers around 2:30 this afternoon. Officials say with the additional engines now in service, there is sufficient capacity to meet customer demand. Since Friday afternoon, when a cable at the company's Blue Hill plant caught a fire, most of the island has been in darkness. Several hotels and businesses suffered major losses as a result, including the Hilton and Atlantis. Officials noted that there are still units down. However, they say crews are working around the clock to bring them back online. The company's executive chairman, Leslie Miller, said load shedding is a possibility until Wednesday. In addition, Miller said BEC has launched a full investigation into the matter, and he said whoever is responsible will face repercussions. Meanwhile, Free National Movement leader Dr. Hubert Minnis says government needs to cut to the chase and announce which company will take over management at BEC.
They have said over and over what needs to be done. We need a new power station. We need so much megawatts of energy. We have Bama coming on. They have made no decision. You know what happened. If they cannot make a decision, Travis, we're going to be in this stew, in this fiasco for a while. So, as a result of the Prime Minister and his government not making decision, he's affecting the economy. The hotels are being affected.
Less than 2 months before the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, we still have no idea who the international headliner is or if an international artist will appear at even this point. Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe says securing a major artist is not his concern, insisting he simply wants the support of Bahamian artists. Vonig Toot reports.
Less than 2 months before the first ever Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe says the Carnival Committee is still in discussions to try and lock down a headliner. While there has been much talk about who that artist would be, Wilchcombe says he has never been concerned about securing an international artist, saying he was always interested in Bahamian involvement.
I think the Commission is still working toward having someone to come and be a part of the incredible event that's being planned. As I've always said, whoever comes as a guest, but the focus has to be Bahamians. We were in Atlanta last night, for instance, and talked with some of the celebrities of the United States. They want to come to be a part of the Bahamas. They want to come and enjoy Bahamian music. They want to enjoy Bahamian food. They will enjoy what God has bequeathed to us. And they're coming to the Bahamas for that. We'll soon announce the large number of celebrities who are coming in. And they're not asking for anything other than the Bahamas. They want us. They're coming in for Carnival.
Wilchcombe's comments come just 1 month after he told reporters that government hopes to lock down the international artist who headlined Junkanoo Carnival by the end of February. Government was originally looking at U.S. entertainer Usher and later Janet Jackson to headline the event. Those plans collapsed. More recently, the government tried to conclude a deal to get Bayesian singer Rihanna in for Carnival. Wilchcombe told reporters today that while they are now in talks with several American celebrities to come in and watch and participate in Carnival, he's not concerned about the headliner.
The major act to me has never been a worry of mine, because I don't believe the Bahamas needs to have a major player, but I do understand that the Commission has always sought to have one. I always thought that If I need someone to draw people to my country, then I'm having a difficulty.
During a news conference at the British Colonial Hilton today, local artist KB, who initially said that he wanted Carnival to fail, backtracked today, saying he now supports the event after hearing comments about the Bahamianization of Carnival by Prime Minister Perry Christie. He says Bahamian artists are coming together on April 11th for a concert on Arawak Key called It's a Bahamian Thing.
I said I wanted to fail because if I see something heading in a direction that is not ours, again, I said to you earlier that I worked hard and long, years and years from the 80s, working on Bahamian music and following the legends like Ronnie Butler, Eddie Minnis, Tony McKay, and these were guys who I emulated, who I thought I was taking the torch to carry on the Bahamian culture. And for me to see this thing turning into a Trinidadian festival, you see some of the things on Facebook. You've seen it. Everyone's whining and gyrating the works and whatever, and look like they're trying to bring in Trinidadian artists to move the Bahamian artists aside. Once I heard the Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism, and I guess even up to Mr. Danny Johnson, these guys were saying, you know, and they're saying, listen, we want to Bahamianize this thing.
While KB said he is happy government has decided to get Bahamian artists more involved in Carnival, he did not say whether he would participate in the actual event scheduled for May 7th to the 9th. He also made it clear he's not too keen on the idea of an international headliner.
I really don't, but if that's what, I understand people believe that they must have someone, like, you know, you want to bring in a Rihanna or this one or the next one, even bring in, what's his name, Bruno Mars, whatever. My point is, you want someone because you believe that they can bring you more international draw. That's true.
Why can't we showcase Gino D? Why can't we have headliners like Ira Store and you know, big names that been around, guys that I used to look up to?
These artists say they look forward to participating in next month's concert on Arawak Key, but they want Bahamians to appreciate their music as much as foreigners do. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonik Toot.
The Free National Movement is calling for Works Minister Philip Brave Davis to resign after he misled Parliament on the insurance of that burnt male dorm at BAMSI. Initially, Davis said the contractor's insurance on the building had lapsed. However, last week, he announced in Parliament that the building was never insured and the contractor had only produced an insurance quote from Royal Star Assurance. During a press conference today, Dr. Minnis said if Davis doesn't resign, the FNL will rally their supporters and march.
Plainly, Philip Brave Davis, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works, has woefully failed to meet this standard of conduct. His lapses in this BAMSI insurance scandal are an affront to the standards of personal conduct and accountability which Parliamentary Convention and the Manual of Cabinet Procedures demand of ministers of the government.
Minnis said he wants the investigation into the BAMSI ordeal to be televised. He added that even if Davis did not mislead the House intentionally, the honorable thing for him to do is to step down.
Ministers owe a duty of care to Parliament and the people, which Davis breached either by deliberate dishonesty or lack of competency. The very definition of gross negligence is to say, or to refrain from saying something without the slightest concern as to whether or not his audience will be misled.
In addition to finding out who signed the documents for contractor Audley Hanna to build the male dorm, Minnis said questions should also be answered as to how compliant his company was with national insurance contributions.
He could not have been compliant if in 2013 he had a contract to repair and construct dorms at the detention center at a cost of over $740,000. In September of 2013, he paid for 4 staff members, including himself. In October, he paid for 2. November, he paid for 2. December, he paid for 2. He was not national insurance compliant.
Police need your help in solving a shooting incident that left a man dead. According to police reports, around 3 a.m. on Saturday, police received reports of a man being shot through Meadow Street. He was rushed to Princess Margaret Hospital. However, he succumbed to those injuries at 10:30 yesterday morning. Bahamian Olympic gold medalist Ramon Miller is ready to make his return to the track since sitting out after an injury during last year's IAAF World Relays. The Golden Knight invited me to get in on some of his training. Here's how that went.
Now, as they come into the home straight, it's a big Angelo Taylor's a powerful sub-45, but he's being pressured all the way, and Martin Rubio, Great Britain's coming through, and the Bahamas are going to take this. I can't believe Angelo Taylor's been beaten by Ramon Miller. Bahamas get it, and Great Britain in 4th place, oust out of the medals, just behind Dion Lindor of Trinidad. It was a fantastic last leg by Ramon Miller of the Bahamas to come past.
It's been nearly 3 years since Chris Brown, Michael Matthew, Dimitris Pinder, and Ramon Miller made history at the 2012 London Olympics, where they won the gold medal in the men's 4x400 meter relay. Miller, in the last few seconds of the race, flew past D'Angelo Taylor of the U.S. to snatch the coveted medal. It was a proud moment in the nation's history and for the 4 young men. For Miller, it was a relief knowing all the hard work he had put in without a trainer had paid off. But at the 2014 IAAF World Relays right here in the Bahamas, just before the men's 4x400 meter relay, we learned that Miller had been injured and would not take part in the race. The Bahamas' team finished second behind the team they had beaten 2 years earlier. But now, after a year of intense training, Miller said he's back and ready to hit the track.
The injury was a mishap, and like I tell people, injuries is a part of the sport. It's always how you deal with it, and it either breaks you or make you. And for me, I guess I'm back stronger than before, Thank God I'm able to train again, train at the ability I did prior to the injury, and now I'm making my way back. And hopefully, my teammates and I, we could, bring home the gold this lap.
The Golden Knight invited me to jump in on one of his training sessions. We started off with a little warm-up, 2 laps around the track, and then some strides with some stretching in between, of course, to avoid injuries.
As a professional athlete, you realize that warming up is one of the most crucial things in your training, Once you have a good warm-up, your practice will be successful.
After a good warm-up, it was time for the hills.
Set, go.
Well, I may have only did the hills twice, but being the professional athlete that he is, Miller did 12 sets. We here at NB12 wish Miller and the other Golden Knights all the best in the upcoming World Relays. When NB12 returns, we take a look back at the most memorable quotes of the week. Stay tuned.